You get what you really, really want, not what you ask for. And I want you to actually sit with that for a second because a lot of people have said, I want more money out loud. They've written it down, they've journaled it, they've affirmed it, they've told friends, they've prayed about it, they've begged for it. Some have even been desperate enough to chase it in ways that felt embarrassing, maybe. And still, nothing changes. So, this video isn't about motivation, and it's not about mindset tricks. It's about something deeper that most people never see, even though it's running their entire financial life. There is a concept I want to talk about called the grand conundrum, and it's simple but uncomfortable. The grand conundrum is an internal contradiction, a conflict that sits underneath conscious desire. It's usually not something you're aware of, and it often lives between two forces inside you: the part of you that wants comfort and safety, and the part of you that wants growth, income, expansion. You can want more money consciously and at the same time be deeply committed to staying exactly where you are. It's got nothing to do with laziness or your capabilities, but everything to do with a decision that was made somewhere along the way. And that decision has more authority than what you consciously want. That decision is still in charge. One psychologist who talked about this was Abraham Maslow. He described two forces that exist inside every person. One pulls you forward, the other clings to safety. And as long as the safety drive stays stronger, even subtly, you stay stuck. Not dramatically stuck, quietly stuck, functionally stuck. If you want to know what you truly want, don't look at what you say, look at what's happening in your life. If what's happening doesn't match what you claim to want, then your goals are in conflict. For example, if you've been saying for years that you want more money, but your bank balance never moves beyond the same range, then somewhere inside you there is a decision opposing that outcome. And that decision doesn't announce itself, it doesn't use words, it just quietly overrides your intention. That's why affirmations don't always work. They are spoken from the conscious mind, but the decision was made somewhere else. It's deep in your subconscious. A lot of these decisions happen early, sometimes in childhood, sometimes in moments that didn't even feel dramatic at the time. A memory can be totally benign or deeply painful, but in that moment, a conclusion is reached. You don't remember deciding. You don't remember agreeing to anything. You don't talk about it. You just assume it's true. There is an example that captures this perfectly. Someone said, there's this place I really want to get to, a lifestyle, an income, and at the same time, I am comfortable where I am. I just want to stare at my computer and take jobs that trickle in. That's the grand conundrum in real time. Wanting more, choosing comfort. And if staying safe matters more than expanding, then abundance isn't actually what you want, even if you like the idea of it. For some people, safety looks like staying small. For others, it looks like not out earning family. For others, it looks like not being seen. For some, it looks like staying loyal to struggle. For some, it looks like staying good. If prosperity feels like a threat to your relationships, your identity, your morality, your sense of belonging, the system will always choose safety. And this is where people get frustrated because they try to force an action on top of an old decision. But the solution isn't effort, it's not more efforting. The solution is realizing a decision was made and it wasn't the right one, and then making a different decision consciously. Sometimes people think the decision they need to make is, I'm going to make more money. But often there's a more fundamental decision that has to come first. For some people, that decision is about whether they actually see themselves as someone whose needs, time, and energy matter. For others, it's tied to caretaking, staying focused on helping, rescuing, or accommodating others at their own expense while quietly feeling depleted or resentful. In those cases, the decision isn't about becoming colder or less generous, it's about stopping the automatic self sacrifice that keeps money at arm's length. Nothing changes externally until that internal decision shifts, and when your inner world shifts, income tends to follow. And it won't follow because of more effort. You won't have to go out and hustle hard. Income will flow because the system is no longer blocking it. So for some people, the old decisions sound like put others first. Money is bad. I'm unworthy. It's dangerous to talk about money. It's safer not to want too much. Those decisions have to be replaced before the more money decision can actually work. Otherwise, the system just keeps defaulting to what it already knows. That's why this isn't about forcing confidence or pushing harder. It's about finding the moment where you chose safety over expansion and questioning whether that choice still serves you. Because in actuality, your life isn't malfunctioning, it's obeying instructions. And once you can see the instruction clearly, only then you can change it. But I think that's the most challenging part because these decisions sit so deep in your subconscious and direct your life. And you just think, oh well, this is just the way I am. This is how it's always been. That's what the grand conundrum really is. It's definitely not a lack of desire. We're constantly launching rockets of desire into the vortex, into the universe. And it's definitely not a lack of discipline, but loyalty to a decision you made a long time ago and never updated. I think that's all for today. I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, sending you love, and I will see you in a jiffy.